Afternoon, Jay. Scott Lee here from Lee Local. Thank you for getting back to me yesterday. Much appreciated. And as promised, I've put something together for yourself. I was initially intending to spend maybe an hour doing this, but looking at the time, I think it's been the best part of 4 hours. Reason being is when I sort of took a further look at yourself, the building restoration sector in particular, especially with regards to historic and listed buildings, is something that I've never particularly looked at before. But even despite the fact that you obviously do cover all areas of business, I think I'm right in saying that this really is your forte, your speciality, what you may be best known for. So that, from my perspective, is the avenue that I wanted to explore and then have a think with regards to what Lee Local can do in growing your business in the next 12 months with a potential partnership between ourselves. Just to sort of take a step back and reiterate what it is that we do here is we partner with one business in one area for one sector. So say, for example, a paving company. We're in talks with a paving company, with several paving companies at the moment, and we're only going to work with one paving company in Kent. And then what we do is we create several pieces of, let's call them online property. And all of these online properties, it's like casting 5 nets instead of casting one net. And then all 5 of these nets are pushed towards the same business. Now, something like that is what I'm interested in talking to yourself about in the building restoration sector for cross builders. Okay, so let's take a little look. So when I looked at building restoration Folkestone, good news is I found you here in the map pack. Just to give you a bit of information about the map pack. Um, Most people don't realize just how powerful this is. The bottom line is when it comes to transactions online, Google are God. Whatever they do, we have to play by their rules. Did you know that up to 75% of all business actually goes to these three businesses in this map pack? It was a 7 listed people. It's now very recently been pushed down to 3. So these 3 spots are incredibly valuable to be found for your customers when they're searching services that you offer. Good news is you are found in the Folkestone area, but you're seen here as 3rd. I'm going to move on to just a few very easy things that you can do to make you hopefully go to number 1 and look far better than Able. I know who Able are. And Anthony Hicks Oak Frame Buildings. I've had a look at them with regards to research to yourself. They're slightly different. They don't really come under the same banner, but hopefully we can get you to the top and you'll look far superior. I'll touch on that in a sec. Building Restorations Kent. Now, normally when I would speak to someone with regards to my services, I would break it down from city to city, from town to town, the big players, Ashford, Maidstone, Sevenoaks, these sort of things. But with building restoration being a lot more specific and a bit more less generic, it's far more applicable to look at the county. People aren't searching building restoration services in Canterbury, they're searching it in Kent because they know that it's a bigger geographical area and there's not going to be as many. It's not like your neighbourhood handyman down the road. A building restoration service is something a bit more different. So when we look at building restoration Kent, yourself, you don't come up in this map pack. You are in it a little bit lower, I do believe, cross builders, so you're there. But very easily, obviously this is what I do. I can get to the top for Kent, and then when we look at the Google searches, you're all the way at the bottom of page 1. Now, just to give you some more statistics about how the internet works, is 40% of all clicks generically go to this number 1 spot. Between 10 and 5% go to 2 and 3. So obviously these places are fairly valuable. But here right now, remember, we're only talking about one area. Later in this conversation, I'll explain about how I propose that if it's something that you were interested in, I assume that your reach is far greater than Kent, and I believe that that's something that could be very beneficial in the future. So on to what you could do to, again, put yourself to the top here. very easily and make it look far prettier. You may have done a Google search before when you see some stars here. You know, it can say 5 stars and 10 reviews, just like your very strong Checkatrade profile. You know, these things clearly have a lot of weight, but what people don't pay attention to is their Google Plus profile enough. Google takes a lot into consideration when it places you in that map pack. Most importantly being is your location, and another big factor is citations. I'll touch on them in a second, but another one, really simple, is your Google profile. So a few little tips, Jay. If you go into your CrossBuilders Google Plus page and fill out every piece of information that you can. So get yourself a profile picture, get yourself a cover photo, fill out your opening times, fill out everything that you're allowed to do, and you can upload up to 10 main photos, and also add some of the great photos from your Checkatrade. I found this one, there you are. So add some of these fantastic photos from your Checkatrade account to your Google Plus account. It goes a long, long way. Plus, when they search you, they can click on this, and then they'll see some of the more of the information here. So it can have a real big positive effect, and that will put you higher in these listings on the map pack as well. Next, something called a citation. A citation is places on the internet where your NAP is listed. That's your name, CrossBuilders, your address, either way in Folkestone, and your phone number, 077, whatever you want your business phone number to be. What's important is that you're in as many places in the internet as possible, and those details are 100% the same as these details on Google Plus. Remember, we've just got to play by Google's rules. So what I recommend yourself doing is, for 80 bucks, you can get this, and this gentleman, I use him a lot, and he will go out to the internet and throw your details around everywhere, which will in turn tell Google that you're an extremely serious player. You know, imagine Google thinking, okay, well, they're in 350 different places on the internet. Wow. Well, they filled out their Google Plus profile, and asking people to give you some reviews, or if you'd like some help getting some reviews, I can help you do that. Obviously, you don't need help. Obviously, looking at your Checkatrade stuff. But then what that does is that tells Google that you're, you know, a very serious player. You're ticking all of their boxes, and then they'll put you to the top of this. That's how that works. So that's just a little bit of information that you can take away with regards to whatever happens after this conversation. Okay, so I wanted to take a look at the building restoration sector in Kent. So here, it's a rough circle around Kent. There's 2,500 people looking for building restoration services, historic restoration, church, all these generic building restoration topics, and that's per month. So just to take a quick idea of how many people are looking for your type of services per month, that number is 2,500, and that's just in the Kent area alone. But then, sorry to sort of being the bearer of bad news, your website, CrossBuilders, no one's finding it, is the truth, buddy. You can see here you're getting pretty much no attention or no traffic organically. That means people doing Google searches and then finding you per month. Obviously, that's something that I'll be looking to certainly take care of. I then wanted to touch on these sort of things. Your Checkatrade, it goes a long way. You've done extremely well. I read through all of this. It sounds great. If I was someone looking at it, and I'm sure that these do actually get you a lot of business. What we do that is completely different, you know, I'm not a lead gen service, I'm not a website builder. Yes, these are the results of what I do, but what we do is we don't care about website design, we care about bottom line. Got to be honest, thought that last night, but looking forward to using it. But there you go. All we care about is creating unique properties that are well, we own them, but everything that we generate goes towards yourself. So you are effectively duplicating your income efforts several times over. You're not sharing anything. You know, it's not a profile. It's to the outside person looking in. It's 4 or 5 different businesses in different areas, but it's all focused towards making your phone ring. Okay, so on to what I think is a great strategy, and what I would like to discuss with yourself is I would like to make Cross Builders the leading building restoration company in Kent, Surrey, and East and West Sussex. Together, the populations of these places is something like 4 or 5 million. Kent is 1.5 million. So what we can do is I can create very strong online profiles in all of these areas. And what I would have to do is I'd have to actually get a physical location and do lots of other bits and bobs. These are all details. What matters is the outcome. But what I'd be looking to do is when someone searches building restoration Surrey, you'd be here and you'd be somewhere here, if not number 1. But disclaimer, these things take time. Google doesn't just wake up one day and go, oh, there they are, and then put you to the top. It slowly builds up, but obviously there's a lot of smart things that I do on the back end with investment to then push you steadily up. But we're going to get you here for Surrey, that's the plan, and for West Sussex. So if we imagine that there's 2,500 people looking in Kent, and currently no one's really finding yourself for generic building restoration services. There are other things such as church repairs that you can be found for in Kent. But what I'm looking to do is to find you for building restoration, structured repairs, church repairs, Victorian listed historical building restorations, and listed building builders. And I want them to be finding you, or at least having the option to find you, in Kent, Surrey, and Sussex. So we're really going to focus that down and cast a very, very big, strong net. That was just something else. Yeah, and I think the rest here was just me doing some research. You know, I took a look here and thought, okay, well, in Folkestone, we're over here. I know, you know, I've done building work in Surrey and Sussex and even Essex and London. If you were willing to go further and you wanted to go further for certain types of jobs, or at least have the option to, then of course that's something that we can discuss. But I hope that sort of gives you a bit of an overview of what it is that I have in mind for Cross Builders. I'm going to be honest, I like the fact that you're in Folkestone as well. Obviously, I'm in Folkestone. That works pretty nice, just down the road. There is a lot of potential here. Does it take investment? Yes, it does. Anything does. But the amount of investment that it would take would be recuperated in half of a job that you would get. And how it works is, I usually don't say these sort of things until I sit down with yourself, Jay, but I'll go ahead and say it anyway. How it works is we ask for our costs to be covered. That's it. That's all we ask for initially. So whatever it's going to cost me to fulfill whatever you would like fulfilled, so say Surrey, Kent and Sussex for building restoration, for you to be found in these places, I would obviously have to go away and do a lot of work and employ a lot of people to get certain things in place. All that we ask is that our costs are covered. We're not trying to make any profit right now whatsoever. That's not how I'm interested in doing business, and that's not how I run my company. I'm looking for a partner in a sector that I can work with for the long term, and then we have a mutually beneficial arrangement whereby if you make money, I make money. So I don't sell leads, I don't sell phone calls, I sell business. So if you generate more business, then I would get a percentage of said business, and that is effectively how it works, Jay. I hope you were 15 minutes long. Is usually a lot shorter, but as I said, I sort of have spent 4 hours on this today putting it together. But that was just my ideas for the building restoration service, and more particularly the historic and listed kind of building services. Of course, if you then wanted to take that and you also wanted to be found for flooring, then I can do the exact same service, but I'll make you out to be a flooring sort of specialist, if you like. Because how it works is, for example, your website, you do the following services, pretty much everything. You know, roof repairs, plumbing, bricklaying, plastering, Yes, you do all of these things, but for you to be found and for you to generate a lot of business for said niche, you have to be very specific in terms of the internet. So that's why that's where I sort of step in, and I can optimize and get customers who are looking for, say, flooring, to then find you. But what I cannot do is be very, very generic. Then you're casting a far too wide of a net, and you won't be found. Anyway, a little bit of background there about myself, Jay. Hope you enjoyed this, and again, remember to have a look back at those sort of 3 bits of value that you can add to your Google Plus page. I look forward to hearing back from you. You can get me on my email at any time. I've always got a mobile on me, as I'm sure you have. And my mobile number is 07746708249. Other than that, Jay, have a fantastic weekend. I hope you can speak soon. Thanks.